Yo, what's going down, Commanders? Hope everyone's doing fine today. I've been thinking about this for about a week now, and I wasn't too sure whether I should make a video and explain my thoughts. But like normal, my big mouth is taken over, and I'm going to make a video. I think VXP should still be in the game. Is my biggest fucking point here. Basically, they could go back, and it doesn't have to be every fucking unit. What I'm talking about is some of the heroes that they've left to stagnate over time. Could be brought back in the game. That's why I've got these open. I think these were the original. Were they the original three, or maybe these? I'm not too sure. But they could revisit some of the old skirmish heroes, the original ones, and start off with the original, do a couple at a time, where you get like 3-5 VXP levels put on them. And what I'm trying to say with the VXP isn't something that you have to purchase in the game. It was, you buy the unit, you had to use the unit to then gain the VXP. I don't even know what VXP means, by the way, guys. But you had to gain the VXP by using the units to then put levels onto the unit. So you'd get, it costs so much, you'd have to use the unit so much to get the one level and then two and then so on. I think this is a perfect way to Kixeye to reintroduce some of the old units, bring them back to the foray, make them a decent unit again, something everyone can have fun with, you know. But we've also got to use the unit, so there's a chance of us losing the unit in the process of using it to gain the VXP. And with that, there's a chance of a bit of coin being spent. Instead of letting the units stagnate over time, keep them within touching distance of the game, and it creates a more, for me, it would create a more viable, how do I put it? It would be a more viable policy than just stuffing new units up our arse fucking weekly. And it would make me feel like when I'm going out and purchasing some of these units, that I'm actually getting a decent deal on it. Eventually, they're going to be brought back into the game in some way, fashion, or otherwise. Where to the point where I've got to use the unit a little bit. It's going to suck till you maybe get 1 or 2 VXP levels onto this unit, and then it's going to come back into the foray where I'm starting to use these units a little bit more, and it makes sense that we're having fun with them. I don't know how hard that would be to introduce VXP onto units that are actually token and timed levels. No, they're not even timed heroes, are they? So it's only token levels, and make them. Or just make the player base feel like we're valued as customers, rather than you watch these units. 3 months we get out of a unit. Any standard unit we get 3 months before the rotation comes back around for Kixeye to put new vehicles, new infantry or new air into the game. And by that time, that 3 months up, them units are normally useless 9 times out of 10. There's the odd occasion where an actual standard unit sees a bit more time than some of the other units, but if you look at them generally as a rule, you don't see the longevity in anything in Kixeye anymore. It's always fucking steamrolling us onto the next unit, and the problem is with the next unit that we get, it's just a carbon copy of the previous unit with maybe something twisted and changed, maybe some pretty effects added to it and things like that. It just makes no sense to me that this company would continuously regurgitate new old units and call them new with something flashy and some bells and whistles flashing up in our faces. And all I'm asking them is to think about the player base as well as themselves. It shouldn't be always about how can we skim X amount of money off these players, how can we continuously make sure people are spending. It should be about how can we make this game fun. And adding VXP, in my opinion, I think the heroes are the perfect place to go with them. I would even go, if I had my way, I'd go so far to say the standard units should get a VXP X amount of levels, whether that be 3-5 levels, whatever it was. And that way they could keep the units, reintroducing the units into the game, instead of having to shove up new units that are carbon copies of old up our arse. They'd still be able to do that, don't get me wrong, they'd still be able to add them units, but the players, the actual community as a whole would feel more valued as customers. Then we get a unit, 3 months down the road we get a replacement for that unit, and it's just an ongoing circle. It's just a massive loop. It is the freemium loop, basically, what Kixeye are producing. This is what we're seeing now with the owners Stillfront, is with Will Harbin at the helm, it wasn't so obvious that they was just out to grab money with Will Harbin. Obviously, he was a businessman. He needed to pay the people that invested into the company and etc., his employees and everything else. But he actually understood that the players wanted some resemblance of a game. And I think that's what they've really took their fucking eye off the ball. And I'm watching people drop like flies in the game right now. Some of them not massive coiners, but some of them have been wows over the years. And it's because they don't feel valued as a customer. They feel that their money is being wasted on units that are just going to be out of date within 3 months of purchasing them. And that, in my opinion, needs to change. And I think this is the perfect solution for Kixeye to start making that change to where they don't look like the fucking arseholes that they've become, basically. You know, with all the problems the game's got, with all the coding issues the game's got, to actually spend a bit of time to actually go, look, guys, we're gonna try to do something nice. It may work, it may not, but we're gonna try to give you some of these older units, and then you can decide if you want to use them a little bit to get a decent amount of VXP on them. Then you can move on, and then they start becoming half decent in the game again. Give the stats boost quite. You can see the health on the Rosie there. It needs a massive stat boost, but 5 VXP levels would fix that. And it would bring that unit back into the fill rate. I wouldn't feel so ripped off having such a little window of time where this unit's good to when it's absolutely garbage. And it's a win-win for everyone. Kixeye's got the chance to earn a few more coins out of units that they've produced in the past through repairs. And they've also keeping the player base happy in the same breath without actually doing that much work. It just boggles my mind that Kixeye wouldn't bring that back into the play of the game. I know I'm waffling on here, guys, but I just, it's something I believe in. Something that Kixeye need to change their ways. This constant fucking 3 months and you're getting a replacement for that unit within 3 months, or bang on 3 months, isn't washing with anyone anymore. We can see past the bullshit. I know my coining has been reduced drastically. I know I've got 140 coins, but I need to purchase coins so I can produce the videos within a timely manner. That's the only reason I use them. I've stopped doing PvP. PvP is a waste of time right now with the fucking cheats, the fiddler and everything else that's involved. So I'm not bothering with that anymore, for now anyway, at least, until Kixeye decide to do a ban hammer. I don't think banning these level fucking 30 bases is good enough. I think they need to go after some of these heavy users of the scripts and things like that and patch the scripts for a start. But I'm not here to talk about that right now. I just want to feel like these units ain't just going under the table and that's the end of them. Ta-da, see you later. Do something with them. Make them so they're relevant in the game again. I can't see the VXP being anything but a win-win if they implemented it into the game like I've suggested. It cannot be anything but a win-win. You have to use the unit to gain the VXP. That means at level 20 of this Rosie, I'm going to have to lose the unit probably 15 times before I gain any decent VXP on it, to the point where it starts to become better again. You know, it doesn't need to be a fast drip of VXP. It could be a relatively slow drip of VXP, as long as I feel like I'm gaining something each time I use it. And then we can fucking all have fun. And Kixeye have got money coming in from the coin for people trying to get the VXP on these units, and the players feel like they're valued because Kixeye are keeping some of the older units within touching distance of being able to use in the game. But who am I? I'm just a fucking big mouth that spouts all sorts of shit over the fucking internet, so I'm no one to really talk. Other than that, guys, let me know what you think in the comments, because I'd love to know your feedback. If you think I'm talking shit, I'm talking shit. But if you think I'm talking sense, then please let me know, and maybe if some of you can, make a post on, because I can't post anything on Kixeye. I'm blacklisted. But if you could make your own post and give some feedback or ideas to Kixeye, you know, maybe they'll listen. 90% of the time they don't, but we can only hope, can't we, at this point? Anyway, guys, take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.